All right, so New Year's Eve is coming up.
Yes, it is.
And you've got the invites out, the playlist ready.
Mm-hmm.
But the real question is what's on the menu?
Uh-huh. The big question.
Specifically the appetizers.
Because, let's be honest,
Right.
those are the rock stars of any good party.
Yes!
Really are.
They really set the tone.
They do.
So today we're doing a deep dive into appetizer expertise.
Okay.
Figuring out what makes a truly great spread.
Especially for a night like New Year's Eve.
Exactly.
2 weeks
The
ago.
pressure is on.
Yeah.
So to help us out,
Okay.
we're using a great article as a guide.
Okay.
It's called Top 7 Best New Year's Eve Appetizers.
Catchy.
And it's from Delicious and Easy Cooking Recipes for All Tastes 2024.
Oh, nice and recent.
Yeah, it just came out this week, October 25th.
Very timely. Perfect for our deep dive.
But here's what I love about it.
Okay.
It's more than just recipes.
Oh, interesting.
It really breaks down like the principles
Right.
of what makes an appetizer work.
On any occasion.
Exactly like a blueprint for appetizer success.
I love that.
Yeah.
A blueprint.
So it kicks off
Right.
with the section called Key Characteristics of a Great Appetizer.
Okay.
And it feels like a must-read.
For any host.
Yeah, for anyone hosting.
Oh, sure.
So first up is flavor balance.
Okay. The foundation.
They use bacon-wrapped dates stuffed with blue cheese,
Ooh, that's a classic.
as an example,
That's a good one.
emphasizing that sweet, salty, savory combo.
So what's the science behind that?
Right, like is contrasting flavor really that crucial?
It's not just crucial, it's practically a law of appetizer physics.
Ooh, I like that.
Think about it. A single flavor, no matter how delicious, can get kind of tiring on its own.
Okay, yeah, that makes
You know
sense.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you introduce those contrasting elements, like that sweet date against salty bacon, and then you've got the tangy blue cheese,
Yeah.
each bite surprises you a little bit.
Keeps it interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what keeps people coming back for more.
Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
And speaking of coming back for more,
All right.
the article talks about ease of eating.
Okay. Crucial.
They're big fans of finger foods,
Of course, makes sense.
like those olive puffs
Love a good olive puff.
or feta cheese foldovers.
Yeah, those are great too.
But I've always wondered,
What's that?
if everything is a finger food,
Uh-huh.
does it feel too casual?
Okay, interesting.
Like, is there such a thing as too much ease?
You bring up a really good point.
Okay, good.
While finger foods are fantastic for mingling and, people can just grab and go,
Right.
having a few dishes that require utensils can add a touch of elegance.
Okay, so a little bit of both.
Exactly. It's all about balance.
All right, balance it is.
And it's another way to vary the textures and the presentation,
Yeah.
Which keeps things interesting,
For sure.
keeps people engaged.
All right, now this one's a classic.
Hit me with it.
Visual appeal.
Of course we eat with our eyes first.
The article emphasizes that.
It's true, though, isn't it?
It is so true.
Yeah.
But beyond just like a sprig of parsley,
Right. Beyond the basic garnish.
what are some ways to make appetizers really stand out visually?
Well, think beyond just garnishes. Think about layering height color.
Okay.
Even a simple crostini becomes eye-catching if you have, like, a smear of vibrant pesto, a dollop of creamy ricotta, and then some strategically placed cherry tomatoes.
Love that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that pop of color.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of serving levels.
Oh, interesting.
Cake stands or tiered platters,
Uh,
instantly make your spread look more dynamic.
okay, I'm taking notes.
You got it.
All right, moving on to something super important.
Okay.
Dietary considerations.
Absolutely.
The article mentions vegetarian options,
Yeah.
like that holiday hot spinach dip.
Always a crowd pleaser.
But what about other needs,
Right.
like gluten-free guests, for example?
Yeah, it's so crucial to be inclusive these days.
It really is.
And luckily, there are tons of gluten-free appetizer options.
Oh.
You could do, like, shrimp skewers with grilled pineapple.
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
Those are always a hit. Or a colorful salad with quinoa and roasted veggies.
Huh?
As long as things are clearly labeled.
Right.
Everyone can enjoy the party without worry.
Absolutely love that.
Yeah.
And finally, they talk about seasonal ingredients,
Okay.
like using crab in those perfect crab-stuffed mushrooms.
Ooh, fancy.
But how do you choose ingredients that feel seasonal
Right.
without being too limiting?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
It's less about specific ingredients and more about capturing the essence of the season,
Right.
For winter, that might be like earthy mushrooms, hearty root vegetables, or some bright citrus fruits.
Okay.
So use those as your inspiration, and you'll naturally kind of gravitate towards dishes that feel fresh and appropriate.
That's a really helpful way to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've nailed down the characteristics
We got the foundation.
of a great appetizer spread.
Right.
But the article also gives us some tips
Okay, even more.
for planning your New Year's Eve menu.
Love it.
So the first one is variety and quantity.
Okay, two very important things.
They suggest a mix of hot and cold options,
Gotta have both.
using hot crab dip and sweet, salty, spicy party nuts as examples.
Yeah. Nice contrast.
But how many different appetizers are we talking?
Right, like is there a magic number?
Yeah? Is there a magic number?
Well, there's no hard and fast rule.
Okay.
It really depends on your guest count and the overall flow of your party.
Right. That makes sense.
But generally, I'd say 3 to 5 different appetizers for a smaller gathering, and then maybe 5 to 7 for a larger one.
So scale it up.
Exactly. And yes, definitely offer a mix of temperatures, flavors, and textures.
Keeps things exciting.
Exactly. You don't want everyone to get bored.
No.
You want to keep them on their toes.
Makes perfect sense.
All right.
Next up is timing and preparation.
Oh, the logistics.
They highlight the importance of make-ahead options,
Yes, please.
like those feta cheese foldovers.
Always a good choice.
Any tips for prepping a whole appetizer spread without pulling an all-nighter?
It's all about planning ahead. Choose recipes that can be prepped in advance and break down the tasks into manageable steps.
Right.
And, enlist help from friends or family if you can.
Okay. Yes. Good idea.
You don't have to do it all yourself.
No.
Another tip, focus on 1 or 2 wow factor appetizers
Okay.
that require more effort, and then round out the spread with simpler options.
Prioritization. I love it.
Exactly. Got to prioritize.
Okay, here's where I feel like a lot of people struggle.
What's that?
And the article barely scratches the surface.
Uh-oh.
Pairing with drinks.
Ah, yes, the art of the pairing.
It's more than just wine with cheese, right?
Oh, absolutely.
What are some pairings that truly elevate the whole experience?
Now we're getting to the fun part.
Yes.
Think about how the flavors interact.
Okay.
Like a sparkling wine, like a Prosecco, loves salty, briny things.
Okay.
So those olive puffs would be a perfect match.
That makes sense.
But a full-bodied red wine
Mm-hmm.
might be better suited to those rich crab-stuffed mushrooms.
Okay, so like match the intensity?
Yeah, kind of. And if you're serving cocktails,
All right.
consider lighter bites that won't compete with those complex flavors.
Okay. Yeah, good point.
So maybe something like those sweet, salty, spicy party nuts.
Genius.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, they touch on creating a theme.
All right.
They give examples like a classic cocktail party versus a modern twist.
Okay, love that.
But how do you choose a theme that feels authentic and exciting?
Right.
Not just like something out of a magazine.
Think about your style and the vibe you want to create,
Okay.
Are you all about vintage glamour?
Ooh.
Or are you a minimalist modern host? And once you have that theme, let it guide everything.
Everything.
Your menu choices, your decorations, even the music.
Wow.
It's about creating a cohesive experience.
Love that holistic approach.
Gotta think big picture.
Okay, last tip.
Hit me.
Budget-friendly options.
Because hosting can get expensive.
It really can.
So how do you create delicious appetizers without breaking the bank?
Right.
Well, there are so many ways.
Okay.
Opt for recipes with inexpensive ingredients like beans, lentils, or seasonal vegetables.
Makes sense.
Another trick, focus on smaller portions.
Oh, interesting.
Instead of a massive cheese board, create a few smaller plates with a curated selection of cheeses and accompaniments.
Ooh, yeah, it feels more special.
It does, and it's easier on the wallet.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Welcome back.
All right, so I'm ready to get into the nitty-gritty of these delicious appetizers.
Me too. I'm already feeling so inspired.
Okay, so first up, that classic holiday hot spinach dip.
Yeah, the ultimate comfort food.
But I feel like everyone has their own, slightly different take on it.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of this dip. It's so versatile. You can swap out different cheeses, add a kick of spice, or even mix in some roasted artichoke hearts for extra flavor and texture.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's really customizable.
Okay, next up, those olive puffs. I have to admit, I'm picturing something super buttery and flaky.
You're spot on.
Okay, good.
The key is using high-quality puff pastry.
Okay.
It really makes a difference.
All right.
And while the article suggests a basic olive filling, you could totally get creative with additions.
Ooh, like what?
You could do sun-dried tomatoes, feta cheese,
Okay.
a sprinkle of fresh herbs.
Now we're talking. All right, on to the main event.
Let's do it.
The best hot crab dip.
It's got to live up to its name.
Right. So what makes this one stand out from all the other crab dips out there?
Okay, first of all, don't skimp on the crab meat.
Okay.
Look for lump crab meat
Okay.
for the best flavor and texture.
Got it.
And a good blend of cheeses is essential.
Oh, yeah. Like what kind of cheese?
Maybe a cream cheese, a Gruyere and Parmesan
Ooh.
for a really decadent touch.
Okay. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Those perfect crab stuffed mushrooms.
Those are a classic.
I have always struggled with getting the filling just right.
It can be tricky.
Any tips?
It's a delicate balance.
Okay.
You want it moist, but not soggy.
Right.
So sautéing the mushrooms lightly before filling them
Okay.
helps release some of their moisture.
Ooh, smart.
And for a real flavor boost,
Yes.
try a splash of sherry or white wine in the filling. It
Okay.
adds a layer of complexity.
Such a good tip.
Thanks.
Now for something a little more adventurous.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Those bacon-wrapped dates stuffed with blue cheese.
That's a bold one.
Is this combo as delicious as it sounds? Because on paper, it's pretty wild.
Let me tell you, it's a flavor explosion.
Okay.
The sweet dates, the salty bacon, the tangy blue cheese,
Mm-hmm.
they all work together beautifully.
Okay.
And they're so easy to make.
Oh, that's a bonus.
Yeah, especially when you're prepping a whole spread.
Speaking of easy, let's talk about the feta cheese foldovers.
All right, those are a good one.
What kind of dough is typically used for those?
So you can definitely use store-bought puff pastry or phyllo dough.
Okay, because I'm not the best baker. Store-bought is always a plus for me,
Of course.
but if you're feeling ambitious,
Yeah,
homemade dough is always an option.
always an option. And the filling is where you can really let your personality shine.
Ooh, I like that.
You can do different herbs, spinach, sun-dried tomatoes, even a different cheese if you're not a feta fan.
Right.
The possibilities are endless.
I love that.
It's your creation.
Okay, last but not least, those sweet, salty, spicy party nuts.
Oh, a crowd pleaser for sure.
I feel like those are always a hit. But what's the secret to getting that perfect balance of flavors?
It's all about the spice blend.
Okay.
You can use a pre-made mix or create your own
Oh, fun.
with smoked paprika, cayenne, pepper, brown sugar,
Mm-hmm.
and a touch of salt.
And don't forget to toast the nuts
Yes. Crucial step.
before coating them.
It enhances their natural flavor and gives them that irresistible crunch.
You've given me so many good ideas.
I'm glad.
I'm curious, out of these 7 appetizers, which one would you say is the absolute showstopper?
Ooh, that's a tough one. They all have their strengths.
I know.
But if I had to choose,
Right.
I'd say the perfect crab-stuffed mushrooms.
Ooh, fancy.
They're elegant, they're packed with flavor, and they always impress.
Excellent choice. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have from flavor profiles to ingredient tips.
But before we wrap up this deep dive, we want to hear from you.
Yes.
What are your go-to appetizer strategies?
What are you most excited to try from the article? Head to the comments and share your thoughts.
We'll be back shortly with some final takeaways and maybe even answer some of your questions.
We'll see you soon.
All right, welcome back to the show. I don't know about you,
But I'm feeling,
but my head is spinning with appetizer inspiration after all of that.
we too.
Yeah, it's amazing how much creativity you can pack into something as simple as an appetizer.
I know, right?
Like, we really went deep on those recipes.
I did.
And I think it just goes to show you don't have to be a master chef
Right.
to create something truly delicious and impressive.
Yes.
And, we covered so much ground today. We started by breaking down,
The fundamentals.
the key characteristics of a great appetizer.
Flavor balance.
Flavor balance, ease of eating, visual appeal, being mindful of dietary needs, and incorporating seasonal
Those
ingredients.
are the important thing.
Then we moved on to planning tips.
Yes.
Nailing that variety and quantity.
Right, yeah, have enough.
Being smart about timing and prep.
So important.
Creating those genius drink pairings.
Because what's an appetizer without a good drink?
Exactly. They go hand in hand.
Choosing a theme that reflects your style.
Make it your own.
And of course, keeping things budget friendly.
We all love that.
Because hosting can get expensive.
It can.
And
Through it all.
what did we use? We used that fantastic article, Top 7 Best New Year's Eve Appetizers, as our guide.
Our trusty guide.
It's from delicious and easy cooking recipes for all tastes 2024.
A great resource.
Published just this week on October 25th.
Very timely. So if you want to dive deeper into any of the specific recipes that we discuss, that's the place to go.
Check it out.
But before we wrap things up,
Okay.
we want to hear from you.
What are your thoughts?
What are your go-to appetizer strategies? What are you most excited to try from the article.
Let us know.
Head to the comments.
Yeah.
And let us know. We might even feature your picks.
That's right.
In a future episode.
We love hearing from our listeners.
We do so remember.
What's the most important thing?
The best appetizer is the one that you make your own.
Exactly.
So don't be afraid to experiment with flavors.
Get creative.
Try new combinations.
It's all about having fun.
And most importantly, have fun with it.
Yeah.
So true. All right, here's a final thought to chew on.
I like it.
Imagine you could only serve 3 appetizers for your New Year's Eve party.
Ooh, that's tough.
I know, right?
Only 3.
What would your ultimate trio be?
And why?
Let's hear those dream appetizer lineups in the comments.
I'm excited to see what people come up with.
Me too.
I'm already picturing some amazing combinations.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into appetizer excellence.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll be back soon with more insightful explorations into the world of food and beyond.
Until then, happy cooking.
Happy cooking, everyone.